All right, let's pick up with video number 2. So we just went over the steps of what to do, and now we're going to look at formula number 1. This is rather an easier formula to use. Basically, you have a sentence in the paragraph that states almost everything that you need, okay? What it's missing is basically your topic. So it's missing a word or phrase that needs to be added. And so let's take a look back at the PowerPoint from chapter 4. We had this sentence in blue. It said, Franklin Roosevelt is considered one of the greatest U.S. presidents of the 20th century. So who or what are we talking about? Franklin Roosevelt. That was our topic. And then everything else in that sentence was our main idea about him. All right, but then we had this sentence, and it says, he is considered one of the greatest athletes of the 20th century. Well, here was the problem with that sentence. We didn't know who he was. All right, it never stated who we're talking about. If we're talking about Michael Jordan, then that's what we should have said instead of he. So with an implied main idea, you might have a sentence like this, where they use a pronoun, he, she, it, and then the rest of the sentence is the main idea. And so what you'll do with Formula 1 is replace that pronoun with the full general topic word or phrase that you need for it. And so that's what Formula 1 is. We're going to add an essential word or phrase to a sentence in the paragraph that almost stated the main idea. And you use this when the author expresses most of that main idea in one sentence. It simply is lacking that essential piece of information, which is about our topic. So you're going to add that information. So let's take a look in our textbooks on page 246 or 247. And I've got it up here on the screen. Okay, come on. All right, let's take a look at exercise 1. We're going to ask ourselves, what is the topic? Oops. And then, if we can't find a stated main idea, what we can do. All right, so it says, what is meditation? It is a learned technique for refocusing attention that brings about an altered state of consciousness. Meditation typically consists of the repetition of a mantra, a sound, word, or symbol, over and over. In other forms of meditation, the focus is on a picture, flame, or specific part of the body. The procedure involves concentrating on something so thoroughly that the person who is meditating becomes unaware of any outside stimulation. He or she reaches a different state of consciousness. So as we can see, picking out our topic, we have this word meditation repeated over and over again, okay? And so in this paragraph, that's what our topic is, meditation. Now we need to pick out a sentence that is close enough with the main idea that we'll have to just add in that word meditation. So the first sentence is a question, so that won't work. So the second one, it is a learned technique for refocusing attention that brings about an altered state of consciousness. This second sentence is a really good main idea sentence. The rest of these sentences help explain it and give example. But the thing is with this sentence, it starts with our pronoun, it. Okay, so all we're going to have to do then is add in meditation. Okay, so meditation is a learned technique refocusing attention that brings about an altered state of consciousness. Okay, so with that example, that's how we were able to formulate our implied main idea here. Okay, we took this sentence, and then this was all the main idea about it. The main point the author wanted us to know about that topic. We just changed the pronoun here and used the actual word meditation instead of it. And so that completed and created our implied main idea. All right, I'm going to end the video here, and then we'll pick up with the next formula in video number 3.